Hello everyone. My name is Isabella Pandalal and I am a counselor at Christ University, and this is the Center for Online Education. I am here to share some exciting, great news. Christ, deemed to be a university, true to its motto of excellence in service, has extended its mission of online education into the online world. We are launching 7 dynamic online degree programs, UG and PG, powered by the latest AI tools and taught by experienced, passionate faculty, created by those who are working ambitiously. They are ready to return to their studies after a break. And remember, we will give you a reason to study again. Join us for our very first webinar on Christ Online Degree programs and see how learning can meet you wherever you go. So we're thrilled to welcome our speaker, Dr. Ashok Immanuel V, Associate Director at the Online Degree Programs and Professor Computer Science Department at Christ University. An actual solution provider, he turns every problem into a challenge worth solving. From AI-powered admissions and in-house ERP systems to research hubs in AI, IoT, XR and robotics, his innovations have transformed our education at Christ. A sought-after speaker on global stages, from the International Conference on Sustainable Advanced Computing to global forums like ETLTC, ICC-ETM, and the All India Conference of China Studies. Dr. Ashok doesn't just follow technology, he leads it. With that, it is my pleasure to invite Dr. Ashok to share his insights and guide us forward.
Thank you, Isabella. The first of its kind from the Online Center for Online Education. And the topic which I would be talking about is online degrees, revolution or illusion. This has been an essential topic lately. To be precise, not 5 years ago, people did not know too much about online degrees or online courses. But since 2020, there has been a rapid growth in this online space. And not just in the education space, online has been everywhere, right? And many things have come online. That's one side of the story. The other side is the artificial intelligence, which is paving the way, compounded by the online internet facilities which are available everywhere. It is creating a lot of changes in landscapes across the globe. So today I wanted to talk about some of the things. Why is an online degree actually a revolution? Or is it really a revolution or just an illusion which is going to go? I might not even answer the question. I don't want to in fact answer the question directly. So I would like to put forth some of my thoughts regarding these online degrees. And perhaps I would just leave it to the listeners to understand and choose for themselves whether you want that to be called a revolution or an illusion. So first of all, let's talk about this. How do we say that a revolution is happening? In history, revolutions have usually involved dramatic physical changes and rapid transformations. But is that really what's happening in education today? What is driving this so-called revolution in the learning space? That's exactly what I want to explore first. What makes us say that there's a revolution in education, especially in the area of online degrees and digital learning? If you take a close look around, you'll notice that major changes have taken place in how transactions are conducted. Let's go back about 5 years. Things were very different back then. Digital payments like Paytm have now become a part of everyday life. You see them everywhere, from shops to small vendors. The days of cash-only transactions are disappearing fast. Now almost every vendor asks, do you have Google Pay? Do you use digital payments? That's how widespread this change has become. This transformation in transactions reflects how deeply the internet and online platforms have entered our daily lives. Everyone is connected, and more than ever, people are conducting business and transactions online, and that's exactly where this revolution lies. When we talk about online transactions, it's clear that the commercial and business world has undergone a massive transformation. This revolution, driven by digital payments and online exchanges, has reshaped the way business is conducted in recent years. Similarly, if we look at the way people travel, there's been a noticeable shift. In the past, travelers would often carry newspapers or books to read during their journey. That was their way of staying engaged. But today, you rarely see books in people's hands. Instead, they're using devices, smartphones, tablets, and other gadgets to scroll through social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram, or to consume content online. What this shows is that online presence is no longer restricted to a single room or space. It has expanded and become an integral part of our lives. Everywhere we go, you are literally connected at every point and move seamlessly. So the presence of the online is everywhere, and therefore people are able to get connected wherever they are. There is a lot of change in the way we are even traveling. So it is revolutionizing. Leave alone electrification and automation. I'm not even talking about the automation perspective, but I am purely speaking from a human standpoint. From the human perspective or our point of view also, there is so much of a revolution in which people have changed their reading habits. Today, we no longer rely on newspapers. Most of us have switched to apps. The apps are convenient. You can literally read anytime and you get the latest update. You don't even have to wait for the morning edition. You don't have to wait for the evening edition. There were times when people would say, oh, this news appeared in the morning edition, or this news would appear in the evening edition. Now we have transcended that time. So there is a lot of revolution in which people are actually acquiring knowledge or learning about the things happening around them. Whether it is transactions, there is a revolution in the way we are doing them or in the way we are traveling. There has been a change in how people react. Even today, though this revolution exists in this form, you'll invariably see that if you want to make a payment in an auto, you can use apps. If you want to go anywhere, we use Google Maps. We don't even ask anybody. Especially in the Indian context, asking for directions is a nightmare because people always give you a route they are not familiar with and you may not end up going to the right place. But today, we don't ask anyone. You can see that in almost every auto or rickshaw where we travel, there is a mobile holder and drivers are constantly in communication, whether it's with Uber, Ola, Google Maps, YouTube or others. There is so much online content available. They are not disconnected. They are connected throughout the journey. This is what is happening today. Soon, I believe we might see such experiences more widely. For example, somewhere in Hong Kong, you see cabs like this. These are normal, everyday realities. It's not a photoshopped or created picture. It's real. I imagine that very soon, even in India, we are going to have these kinds of gadgets surrounding people where you can quickly glance at them and all of them seem to be giving some information. It's not just for display or showpieces, but the amount of online information being delivered to a single person is of great interest. So the way we travel has changed. The way we use gadgets has changed. And now many people have multiple gadgets through which they perform many operations. There was a time when we talked about digital literacy, and even now it's not just digital literacy, it's digital fluency. I still remember just 5 years ago, I was talking about digital literacy to people. All of a sudden, I realized we no longer need to talk about digital literacy because everyone is already aware of it. Now we have moved into digital fluency. Now, even the term digital fluency seems a bit outdated because it's always present. It's inherently part of everything we do. So that's the kind of time we are living in. This revolution, driven by the presence of the internet, is spreading like wildfire. Even the learning space has changed rapidly. If you look at these two pictures, they reflect the learning environments we were once part of. Earlier, the entire focus was on the teacher. Today, we barely talk about the teacher anymore. Content is recorded. We still need someone to guide us, but they no longer stand in front of us to deliver knowledge directly. In this way, education itself has been completely revolutionized. In other words, the way we acquire knowledge has transformed. There was a time when classrooms were considered temples of learning and everyone came to school to gain knowledge. That era is gone. That space is shrinking every day. But learning has expanded beyond the university corridors and physical classrooms. What we once called learning spaces or temples is now evolving into something much larger. This is the revolution we are navigating through. Whether it's travel, transactions, or learning, everything is changing. Digital content and online presence, or more precisely the internet, are taking new twists and turns in the way we live and interact. Artificial intelligence is playing an even bigger role, penetrating almost every field you can think of. Today, there isn't a sector that isn't talking about AI. It's become the most important term in business, communication, and transactions. IE is almost like the first letter in the alphabet for everyone. With so much internet penetration, technological advancement, and the growing presence of online, the world is being revolutionized at every level. The way we learn and live is significantly changing. Even classrooms are not immune to this transformation. The role of teachers is rapidly evolving. The word teacher might become obsolete sooner than we think. Instead, facilitator is the term that will prevail. Teaching is no longer about being the center of attention. Facilitators are there to enable learning. In this picture, you can see the person standing outside the learning space. They are simply providing the right material and guidance. Learners are discovering and learning on their own. This is the essence of the online revolution. Now, speaking specifically about higher education, one of the most critical changes in the past few years is that the UGC has stepped in to govern fully online degrees. There was a time when we only talked about MOOCs or a few online courses. But now, UGC has transformed this landscape, moving from offering single courses to full-fledged degree programs. Instead of just one course or a few hours of material, UGC is now laying out eligibility criteria, quality standards, and guidelines for exams conducted entirely online. Several new regulations and documentation have been introduced to ensure these programs are credible and effective. According to recent statistics, 102 higher education institutions are now offering around 544 fully online degree programs. This is not about a few casual courses, this is about structured accredited degrees. The depth and seriousness with which UGC is supporting online education is massive. It shows that even the government of India recognizes the transformation taking place. So this is not just a grassroots effort by educational institutions, it's a top-down initiative supported by the highest educational body in the country. UGC is actively updating policies and releasing guidelines to support online degrees. This is the birth of the online learning space, and the time is absolutely right for it. In fact, I believe that even before the pandemic, we wouldn't have been anywhere near ready for such a shift. 5 years ago, the idea of full online degrees seemed distant. But after the pandemic, everything changed. The way people learn, communicate, and work transformed drastically. This shift provided the platform for full online degrees to emerge and thrive. As per the government's press release, around 19 lakh students are enrolled in such programs, and according to SWAYAM alone, 33.6 lakh students have enrolled. That's a huge number. Where does this 33.6 lakh get the ability to connect to an online platform? It's 100% online. For this semester alone, there are about 6 lakh exam registrations. You can check this on the dashboard, especially the NPTEL dashboard. The source is available for verification. So you can see that a massive number of people are migrating to online platforms to increase their knowledge, build new skills, and improve their chances of becoming employable. This is something very interesting, something we didn't see just a couple of years ago. It's a recent movement that has gained momentum because, as I mentioned earlier, the internet and online platforms are driving this revolution. Going with this wave, we now have the opportunity to enroll in fully formal online degree programs, much more structured than just a MOOC or NPTEL course. The NPTEL website itself reports a cumulative enrollment of 1.58 crores across courses from inception until December 2021. That's a huge number of learners with access to knowledge. This is exactly what I want to highlight: the ability of students and learners to be present online and use the internet as a tool to acquire knowledge. That's the revolution we're talking about, which wasn't possible a few years ago. Now, what makes online degrees credible and feasible? That's always at the back of our minds. We say it's a revolution, fine. But is it good or bad? Is it credible or practical? These are the questions that we need to answer to truly validate the word revolution. Let's quickly go through the factors that make this possible. As I mentioned, the UGC is formalizing this process, ensuring legal validity. Many people still have doubts about whether online degrees are legitimate. It's important to differentiate between distance education and online education. They're two separate categories and not to be confused with one another. Distance education follows a different framework, whereas online education operates under its own guidelines. So when we talk about online degrees, the regulatory framework helps us understand its legality. I'm not saying distance education isn't valid. It is. But online degrees are a newer concept in terms of legal recognition. The UGC clearly states that any institution wanting to offer an online degree must have a minimum NAAC score of 3.26 or be ranked among the top institutions in the NIRF ranking. What does this mean? It means only institutions with established credibility and proven ability to maintain educational standards over time can offer online degrees. This is where legality and trust come into play. Furthermore, the UGC mandates that an equivalent offline degree program must already be in place. Online education isn't something entirely separate from traditional education. It follows the same curriculum and model of teaching, with the mode of delivery being the only difference. The knowledge remains consistent and efforts are made to ensure that the learning experience is as similar as possible across both formats. All exams and assessments are required to be proctored and secured. There's a strict regulatory framework that governs higher education institutions offering online degrees. Additionally, AICTE, the technical education body, provides discipline-specific compliance guidelines to maintain standards. Together, these measures show how both the UGC and AICTE under the Government of India are working to stabilize and legitimize online degree programs. This is a top-down effort backed by the highest educational authorities, not just a grassroots movement. The second important factor is academic quality assurance. The curriculum for online degrees mirrors that of offline degrees. The same faculty qualifications are required and periodic audits ensure that institutions maintain quality standards. There are no shortcuts. Enrolling in an online degree is not a free pass to a certificate without hard work. Students must put in the same effort as in a physical classroom. The government is also keen on upskilling millions of people in the country. Technological infrastructure ensures that people from every part of India and even the world can connect and access education. According to recent statistics, there are around 850 million broadband subscribers as of 2024, a huge backbone supporting online learning. Today, video streaming is everywhere. People on the move are watching videos on Facebook or YouTube, consuming content constantly. This means that the same time spent on entertainment can also be used for learning, making online degrees a practical option. Assessment integrity is another key factor, ensuring credibility. AI-powered monitoring systems like proctored exams help ensure that marks are fair and authentic. Even slight movements like a shift in retina or suspicious behavior can be flagged by advanced technology, making cheating nearly impossible. Finally, online platforms recognize career values. They offer MOOCs and certification programs that complement a degree and enhance industry-relevant skills. Students can pursue additional courses based on their schedules, allowing for flexible learning. This is especially valuable when seeking industry recognition. So when you pursue an online degree, it's not an easy or effortless path. It requires self-discipline, time management, and a willingness to engage with practical experiences, not just theoretical knowledge. If you believe online degrees are merely about signing up, reading theory, and passing exams, you're likely to see them as an illusion. In reality, online learning requires active participation, practical skill application, and rigorous effort. Students must accept that it's not about shortcuts. They have to commit to learning, managing time wisely, and staying disciplined. If you think a certificate automatically grants competence, that's a misconception. Just as in offline education, students must work hard to acquire knowledge and skills. In fact, online learners often need even more perseverance and self-regulation to succeed. Now, having talked about the revolution happening in education, how people's minds and opportunities are changing, I want to briefly discuss where online degrees could become an illusion if not approached with the right mindset. If you don't believe practical experience is important, then an online degree may not be meaningful to you. It's not just about reading theory and writing exams. It involves experiments, projects, and real-world applications that require effort and persistence. If you think self-discipline isn't necessary, it will become an illusion. Online learning is more about you than anyone else. No one will constantly monitor or push you. You must hold yourself accountable. Similarly, without strong time management, the flexibility of online learning becomes a challenge rather than an advantage. Time management is essential for success in online programs. If you believe getting a certificate is a magic ticket to success, you'll be disappointed. Online degrees demand hard work, audits, and assessments, just like traditional programs. Discussion forums, peer interaction, deadlines, and challenging questions are all part of online learning. It's not isolated or easy. It mirrors the offline experience in every way except for being fully digital. So when you earn an online degree, it's the mode that's online. The degree itself holds the same value as any other. Just as you order food via delivery platforms instead of visiting a restaurant, your priorities haven't changed. Only the convenience of access has improved. If you believe you're learning alone, that's a misunderstanding. There are forums, study groups, and platforms for interaction and peer support. The key difference is that you must be proactive rather than relying on others to guide you constantly. Lastly, if you believe a certificate will replace actual competence, it's an illusion. Real learning, real effort, and real application are essential. Online learners must work just as hard, if not harder, to build the same skills. Now, having explained this, I want to talk about what Christ offers through its online degree program. It's all about you, your time, your learning speed, and how we bring knowledge to your fingertips. At Christ, we constantly focus on how to deliver quality education to every individual student, rather than treating students as a group. It's about how much time you can spend learning, how you redeem every moment, and how you turn learning into growth. I remember my father teaching me, the time that is past, you can never recall. The time to come is never certain. Therefore, redeem and improve every hour. For him, that was advice enough. But for my generation, I learned it's not every hour, but every minute that counts. And now, in today's world, I'd say every second matters. This is the mindset we foster at Christ. It's not just about studying, but about valuing every moment to build competence and live a meaningful life. That's the teaching I want to pass on. It's what I shared with my children. I also told them that someday they might be teaching this to their own children, and by then even a second will be considered a luxury. Time will be that precious to them. So you must tell them, time that has passed can never be reclaimed, and the time to come is uncertain. Therefore, redeem and improve every nanosecond. This reflects how fast information is moving today. With the internet, knowledge travels at near instantaneous speed. What happens on one corner of the world becomes available to you within moments. In this context, time is crucial for acquiring knowledge and building skills. It's all about time, how you use it, how you manage it. Learning is now self-paced. You decide which subject to focus on, which to study later. It's flexible and personalized. We offer self-service certifications. You can choose courses that match your interests and goals. Whether you want to explore something new or deepen your expertise, you have the freedom to learn at your own pace from universities worldwide. Exams are self-scheduled too. You pick a date that works best for you from several options. This adds convenience without compromising on quality. We also offer just-in-time augmented learning and mentoring. If you're stuck, you don't need to wait. You can instantly reach out to counselors and mentors who are always ready to assist you. You can discuss problems, career paths, or academic concerns at any time. We also provide assisted placements and internships when needed, helping you prepare for real-world opportunities. At Christ, it's all about you and your time. That's why we've designed programs with this flexibility in mind. You will also have access to libraries across our campuses. Whether you're in Delhi, Pune, Mumbai or Bangalore, you can visit any of our 6 campuses and use the resources available. If you're interested in research, we'll pair you with mentors to guide you through publishing your work. Our incubation center is available to support innovative ideas. We also host webinars and masterclasses featuring industry and international experts to enrich your learning experience. Christ's research facilities are world-class. You can book slots, explore equipment, and carry out projects with proper support. Occasionally, we organize meetups so that you can connect socially and exchange ideas in person. Online learning doesn't mean isolation. You'll have access to forums, discussions, and collaborative spaces. Industry-recognized certifications, like those through Coursera, are integrated to enhance your qualifications. Understanding this framework is key to seeing online degrees not as shortcuts but as transformative opportunities. Effort, discipline, and commitment are essential, and they are part of what makes this a revolution. Most papers are designed with rigor. 4 credit papers require about 120 study hours, including live weekend lectures, recorded tutorials, transcripts, and discussion forums. There are no shortcuts. You'll work just as hard as any student in a physical classroom. The process starts by applying through the UGC portal, creating an academic bank ID, and undergoing an interview process. Once accepted, you'll receive access to Christ's learning materials, online portals, and email IDs, all set up to support your learning journey. Weekly course recommendations, bridge courses, webinars, and regular schedules ensure that you stay on track. So this is not a walk in the park. It's structured, disciplined, and designed for serious learners. Some key points include the need for practical experience, not just theory. The importance of self-discipline and time management. Flexibility in scheduling without sacrificing academic rigor. Support structures like mentoring and placement assistance. Access to world-class research facilities. Recognition by UGC and government bodies ensuring credibility. Ultimately, it's about effort, not magic. If you treat it like an illusion or a shortcut, you'll miss the real opportunity. But if you embrace the challenge with discipline and perseverance, it becomes a revolution in learning. As we conclude today's webinar, I want to leave you with this thought. The question of whether online degrees represent a revolution or an illusion ultimately depends on you. Your approach, your commitment, and your willingness to embrace the challenges and opportunities that come with this new mode of learning. What we've discussed today shows that the infrastructure, credibility, and quality assurance mechanisms are all in place. The regulatory frameworks are established, the technology is robust, and the academic standards are maintained at the same level as traditional programs. The revolution is real in how we access information, how we learn, how we manage our time, and how we balance education with other life commitments. But it's not a magic solution. It requires the same dedication, effort, and intellectual rigor that any meaningful education demands. At Christ University, we've designed our online degree programs with this philosophy in mind. We're not offering shortcuts. We're offering new pathways to excellence that meet you where you are in life. Whether you're a working professional looking to advance your career, someone returning to education after a break, or a student seeking flexible learning options, our programs are designed to support your journey while maintaining the highest academic standards. Thank you for being part of this journey. If you have questions, feel free to ask here or in the chat. Let's work together to make learning accessible, flexible, and empowering for all. Remember, time is precious, and every moment you invest in learning is a step toward a better future. The choice between revolution and illusion is yours to make. Thank you once again for your attention and participation in today's webinar.